On today's episode of Hicks in Paradise,
we're about to burn down the lake shack.
We're leaving a line of bodies where the boat has been.
Daniel, all this stuff pretty much needs to go at some point. We are packing up for a fun weekend at the lake.
All this going?
Yes.
Okay.
Packing to go to the lake is always a super intense process, and today is just like any other.
Packing is just something you do when you have a big family, all the time.
What do you want to put in this bin, or do you want to stick it in here first and then fill it up?
It's not even stocked as much as it normally is.
There's no restaurants anywhere around the lake. You know, there's no grocery store down there. You got to haul it all with you.
Mom, how much of this will you take to the lake?
At least half. It has to be for the whole weekend. And you never know. You know, there's growing boys, they're on the lake, they're getting hungry, and so you have to be prepared for any case.
It's a lot of food.
A lot of food.
It's incredible how much stuff Michelle packs and how much stuff she thinks of.
If you're going to the lake, you got to have to pack. This is a full load this time.
Our lake house is on this little lake down in Texas. It's like a lake club. And there's rules there that you can't get on the lake and make a wake until 10 a.m. So that morning, the boys had said they were gonna help me finish screening in the back porch, but they went fishing with their uncle. I guess their uncle kept them out on the lake till like 9:30. So when 10 o'clock rolled around, the boat wasn't in the water, the cover wasn't on the boat, and I wasn't done screening in the porch.
This is just make it look not dirty.
And I guess I was a little bit frustrated that I was still working on the porch and nobody had come help me.
So every time you have to put the boat in the water, you have to put the canopy on.
Yeah, go for it. Y'all figure it out.
All right. Do you remember how we did it, Caleb? That one just has regular threads from something else on it.
10 a.m. is wake time. If we're not on the water at 10 a.m., Dad's gonna have a hernia.
We're on a time crunch trying to beat the crowd.
If there's one thing that this family is, it's opinionated.
Which side is the tensioning side?
I don't know.
But the problem is you're almost always opinionated in the opposite direction.
I think these are going to be too long.
This goes over to the top.
Well, hold on, Caleb. Hold on, Caleb. We'll get it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out this screw because this is not supposed to go here. No, this screw doesn't go here. This isn't supposed to be.
Well, what about these? Dad, we'll figure it out. Okay, well, where's that other thing go?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, it goes somewhere, don't it?
You need help, babe?
I mean, I was standing right there and I offered to help.
That's like me asking, do you want me to drive? If you answer yes, we have issues.
Yeah, this ain't right.
Hey, good job, Dad. You're doing great.
So after probably about 10 to 12 minutes, give or take, they finally have to call my dad over.
Dad, come here. Well, you know, we say a lot of things.
When you have to call my dad over to come help you, that's your walk of shame.
They're calling me over to help them fix the problem that they couldn't figure out after they had gotten to fish all morning.
We had to have Donnie Harris come in and pull rank on us, and it's always a bad day.
Don't these go in up here? Right here? No way. This goes in last, remember?
But come to find out, my dad was even having trouble putting it on.
Shoot, let me think.
How many Aggies does it take to put a canopy on a boat?
Well, shoot, I don't know if we can get that out.
That has to be replaced.
Yeah, how are you going to get it out?
Well, you're gonna go get some pair of pliers and figure it out. Find some lock pliers, they'll screw it right out.
Where are the lock pliers? Inside? Are they inside?
Yeah, they're somewhere. I have no idea. They're in the tools somewhere. Well, yeah, the pliers are in the magic pocket, you know, because I'm just carrying pliers around, you know.
Here's your Allen keys. Dad has told
not a
a
magic
deceit.
pocket.
There are no Allen keys in here. Dad, there are no Allen keys in this bag. Well, they're bits, not keys.
Is that gonna work? Do you need a drill?
No, it's work.
The boys embarrassed themselves today.
They're smart, great boys. They did a great job and they got the boat in and we had a great day.
Wakeboarding is one of our favorite pastimes at the lake.
It's just something fun that we can all do together and learn together.
Caleb is definitely the best wakeboarder out of all of us.
Caleb is a big boy. And he jumps really hard and he lands really hard.
He also
somehow manages to jump 13 feet in the air.
No, this time, I don't know what happened. I'm there, I'm going.
I'm videoing as a proud wife does.
I jump, it's broken. I land, it's really broken. My face hurts.
Caleb just broke the binding again.
There is no more wakeboarding this weekend.
That's like a 1 in a million chance. Like that usually doesn't happen.
How did he even do that?
This is not the first time. It's not the second time, but the third time that the bindings have been broken by my sweet husband.
3 times. 3 separate times.
There's one time where I epoxied them back together, but this time there was no coming back.
He has like blood coming out of his nose because I guess he hit his face too hard or whatever, and I wasn't super concerned.
John, I was like edging, and then I like tried to jump and I felt the back binding just like come loose. That shit's completely out of control.
Yeah, we'll see if they help us out on this. That just shouldn't happen.
So Caleb just broke the wakeboard, but that's okay. Now it's time for some tubing. But we don't tube the regular way. Tube Wars is a game that we've played ever since we were little kids.
It's basically just King of the Hill on tubes.
And the last person left on a tube, that team wins.
The people on the tubes are jumping onto other tubes and ripping each other off.
You're leaving a line of bodies where the boat has been.
Sometimes we employ a few questionable strategies.
I remember one time Ali literally grabbed my head, shoved it over the front of the tube. When my head went in the water, my whole body just like sucked under the tube.
So you have to lay down and put your feet up, and whenever he jumps, kick him off.
I actually hate Tube Wars. It seems like the most dangerous, barbaric thing I've ever seen.
I think it's great when they play Tube Wars.
They're trying to jump across tubes and attack each other. I pray a lot during Tube Wars. So
today it's me and Caroline and one of our girl cousins, and then 2 of our friends. In hindsight, that probably wasn't really a fair matchup because you got 3 Harris girls on 1 tube. They didn't really have a chance.
But then Jonathan decides that he wants to get in the water, and that's when things got unfair real quick.
Y'all are gonna get red.
I'm scared.
He's a lot bigger and stronger than us.
And we just kept going zoop, zoop, zoop.
Oh, they're off.
Against that kind of competition, there's just nothing you can do.
I guess it was lunchtime. We were taking a break from the lake.
We're gonna try to do something for Dad and finish the screen and porch. But there's also a very big possibility that he has a very specific way he wants it done. And we're not going to know what that way is, and he's gonna get upset with us.
This is either gonna be an act of charity or a war crime.
98.5.
No.
Now we somehow got to make this not wrinkly.
One corner one out up there, and then
That is way wrinkly bad, bro. No, it won't be in a second. Trim these
Wasn't frustrated, at least now.
There's all those verticals.
So I think we're okay. Like if you step back, it doesn't look bad.
All these little.
We know what we're doing, but we don't expertly know what we're doing.
Oh wait, why? We need ladder.
I'm getting ladder. I'm making ladder where I can stand it on something.
When it was all said and done, they kind of put it on the wrong order. Made the last part of it really hard because they should have started on one side and not the other.
Ben, take the box cutter and cut it off. Right there on that.
It was fine, and I understand that they were trying to help with the porch, so I kind of let them roll with it.
That looks pretty good.
It will keep bug out.
The boat that we wakeboard and tube on is not the only boat. We also have this rinky-dink little pontoon boat named Misty.
My sweet, sweet husband knows how much I love Misty. Misty being the boat that came with the house for free. For Christmas, he told me he would buy Misty a new way for her to go because she was breaking down.
It used to have this junker of a 2-stroke motor on it that just spit oil and gas, and I hate it.
It smoked like crazy and it smelled bad and it was sputtering.
So I got this small outboard electric motor, but then it had to have a battery. So a friend of mine, he built me a battery to take down and put on my boat.
I'm sitting there watching him do this, and he looks at me and says, "This is a lithium-ion battery that I had some guy homemade for me."
Lithium-ion battery, I built for me.
Famous last words, Dad. Famous last words.
Way cheaper than the battery.
I am definitely worried about Daniel and this battery. First of all, where he got the battery from, I'm sure the man is brilliant, but he only wore pajama pants.
So he's sitting there working on it for 10 minutes. Caleb's trying to help him, yada, yada, yada.
In keeping with Harris traditions, no instructions were read.
It should be fully charged. I just want to check it before we get started.
When I was kind of making this battery box and putting in these terminals, I had put them too close together.
Man, that positive is sitting a little bit close to the negative terminal.
I hope we don't blow up.
Sure enough, it was so close that it actually ended up touching. If anybody knows anything about batteries, that's no bueno, usually.
We're gonna check it out, make sure it's working before we go put it on the boat.
So I was screwing it down, it shorted between the two and made a spark.
Ooh, man.
Pretty quickly as we're standing there, the whole room looks like it just got struck by lightning.
I hear this electric shock, see sparks flying, and my dad's like, "Oh!"
I am increasingly concerned we're about to burn down the lake shack and have some kind of explosion.
One of the nuts that I was using got welded to the post. So then Caleb grabs the connector piece to the motor and tries to knock it off.
Give me something to knock that off there.
At this point, Daniel has already shot off sparks. How do I know he's not going to make something explode or hurt himself even worse? And then Caleb starts going over there with like some kind of metal thing, and even I know enough to know you're not supposed to touch metal on something that's sparking. And he goes over there, and then it's like sparking even more. And thankfully I have this evidently indestructible floor where all these sparks are landing on it. It doesn't matter and doesn't catch fire.
Wow. Let's make sure we're still okay.
I'm thinking the battery was not the safest option.
Wow, we're short. Just welded that thing together. That has strongness to it right there.
There's probably a reason why a car battery has the posts far apart and not right together.
Yeah, that'll like blow your hand off, I think.
Because you might blow your hand off and burn your house down if you're not careful.
That could have been very, very bad. I think in light of this, I may end up getting another battery box for this. Well, I think that's going to get enough connection.
But after that issue is dealt with, Dad moves on to the next phase in his plan, which is the propeller.
Yeah, it's got 41 volts in it right now.
So he's sitting there in a chair with it in his lap, while the propeller blade is resting on the floor. And Dad's sitting here trying to like turn it on.
We're testing out the motor in the house.
I guess it's time to go get the instructions out.
I didn't stop to think about where the trolling motor is going to be spinning. I guess that shows my foresight.
And all of a sudden, all I hear is brrrt. Oh look, there's a notch in the floor where the propeller was because it turned on.
There we go. It's
You did put a hole in the floor.
The propeller's hitting the floor.
So now there's this like notch in the floor that's like this big.
Oh my goodness.
well, that's okay. This floor is older than me.
This is too much stress for me.
We'll get a brown magic marker and nobody will know.
I do have one.
We're definitely.
Without the instructions then?
Yeah, we're good now.
So it made holes in the linoleum of the floor. So I just got a brown magic marker and kind of colored it in so you couldn't see the white.
Right here. Which one do you think's closer? Looky there. That's not bad. Not bad.
We got the battery all figured out. We figured out how to hook it up.
Is that battery safe to use?
Yeah. As far as you know.
So then we went out and actually installed the motor on the boat.
I'm getting pretty excited about this boat.
The boat was working great. I was very happy with how powerful the outboard was.
I'm really excited for Daniel because this is working.
Love it. It's gonna rain, so I'm gonna dock it and pull the motor off and we'll go back and go out there. Unless you want to go real fast.
And then all of a sudden, I realize he's coming into the dock hot.
So he's like approaching the dock. He's not slowing down. I'm like, that's an issue.
And he slams into the dock.
Probably good to figure out how to do reverse.
And then he does it again, and it's like you realize this boat is out of control.
I had not calibrated the motor right, and so forward to reverse actually made it go faster forward.
Stop, motor. Stop. No, I just gotta figure out where 0 is on this thing.
I am not holding out much hope for the new Misty motor.
And he keeps, and hits the dock 4 times.
Bring this junky old thing back to life.
Let's just say directions are always helpful.
The lake used to be the river, and then the river moved over and left this lake behind. So every couple of years it floods, and these really big river fish get in the lake.
So I was fishing with a jug line, you know, it's just like a flotation device with rope and hook attached to it. You put live bait on. Live bait swims around into the water and attracts fish like gar, but occasionally you can get catfish.
So a lot of times when we throw out jug lines, you don't get a bite right away and you just let them float all night. This time though, we threw the jug lines out and we're getting bites immediately, right then, before it was even dark. Jonathan got on the kayak and went and pulled up the fish.
This time got lucky, got a catfish, it was an op.
And it was kind of cool because you don't usually catch an Opelousas.
I mean, you just go out there, grab the flotation device, come back to the dock, lift it up, there's your fish.
We had a scale and weighed it, it was about 13 pounds. You know, when you look at it, you think, oh wow, 25 pounder, and then you weigh it and you're like, oh well, you know, it was pretty good.
Now that everyone else in the family realizes how big Benjamin's fish is, they're all rushing down here to see it and taking pictures and telling him how awesome it is. It's super cute.
I love watching Ben catching fish. To see Ben and everybody else get so excited, I love that.
Ben loves catching fish.
It's really fun getting to see Benjamin catch such a big catfish. He had been fishing for a while and was just trying so hard, and then to see that hard work rewarded was so sweet.
We got the Lake Shack to be a place that had a lot less distractions in life, where you had to be present with each other and talk, spend time together.
Life is about the memories you make. That's what I always say. We can't make memories sitting around playing video games and not going out and experiencing things. So that's why I'm happy to see the kids fish and get their hands dirty and break wakeboards and be at a lake house where your cell phone doesn't work and you have to talk to each other and work puzzles and play games.